Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to look at an expansion for one of my favorite games, Aldarra, and this is going to be Aldarra Savage Skies. This is going to be published by Stratton Publishing, and this is going to get the game up to 6 players. So this is going to give you 2 new factions you're going to be able to play with. Let's go ahead down the table here. I'm going to show you what comes in this expansion, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to give you my final thoughts. Alright, so this is Aldarra Savage Skies, and as you can see, you get a lot of stuff with this expansion. The main point of this expansion, and you do get this nice little rule book with it, is going to be the 2 new factions you get. So you're now going to be able to play up to 6 players, and the majority of this expansion is coming with the components that you need to play for those 6 players. So you'll have more tiles. You can mix these in here, and when you start out the game, you're going to be separating the tiles by type anyway, based on player count, but these can go in and into the base game there and be shuffled in just fine. You also have new exploration tokens here. If you're not playing with events, you're going to be removing the ones that have the little mark on there for events, but you'll have new explorations in here. See, it has a little E there. That's going to be the ones you remove for events. And sorry, that symbol shows it's from the expansion, but this E is the one you're going to move for events. And you'll have these, and you can place these in. These secondary objectives here, you're going to be able to put those in, and you can remove them if you're at lower player counts, but here's your secondary objectives that you can have in there. And then you'll have your Discover cards here. So you get more Discover cards, and these have the player count on here. You'll just remove them based on your player count. And we'll go over your event in a little bit, but you'll have a new player track here. So this player track will let you up to 6 players. You'll get some more exploration tokens. You'll get some more of these gems that you'll be gathering throughout the game to get your points and other things. And you'll get these 2 new really cool factions. And these factions have their own sculpts now. Like all the other ones, they have individual sculpts for each of the ship types. I love this engineer. And this one is more like a artificial, or not artificial, like a organic sort of an idea to them. And some of the heavier ships here are really cool models. Oops, had it upside down. And you get to put them in these really nice inserts. And I really like how they did the inserts, which makes it easy to put this game away instead of having it sealed to be the exact shape of the piece that you're placing in. It gave you a little leeway in placing them back in the box there. So it makes it much easier to get these put away. But these sculpts are amazing. And these stack on top of each other. And what I'll do is once I have these stacked on top of each other, I will place the faction board on top, and then I'll place the lid on top of that. But this one is going to be the Sky Tamers. The Sky Tamers here, if you are tied with another player for victory points, you will choose your position in the turn order before the players you are tied with, which is really good. And you could treat forest as adjacent to each other, which is amazing. Your stronghold counts as a forest. So that's going to be Sky Tamers. And one of the 2 factions that you're going to get in this expansion. Here's the other one. Alright, so we're going to show you some of the heavy ships first, and we'll show you some of the light ones. This one also is like a squidish one. So I think squid, octopus, or Cthulhu looking stuff, which is really, really cool. Another organic faction. Again, these models are just amazing. I think what I'm going to do is, not that you really need to do anything with these models, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a wash on these. So like a purple wash and a green wash, and just really have the details like pop out. So it's not really painting it so much as it's just making the details pop out on these miniatures even more. Because these are incredibly coolly detailed miniatures. All right, so the Cathari Hive Mind, I believe you would say it is. So this one here is when units start its movement in a territory with a crystal, you may move that crystal to the territory where it ends its movement, which is pretty cool because you can't normally do anything with crystals. You have to end on the territory with them. You may not move the crystal while retreating, and you may not move the crystal onto your stronghold, which makes sense. At the start of the light initiative in combat, so in this game here, you have light and heavy. For combat, the light ships, which are like these guys, like here, the little frigates, they fire first, and the heavy fire second. But in this one, at the start of the light initiative combat, before dice are rolled, you may choose to destroy any number of your light units in the territory to deal their maximum damage, no explosions, to your opponent. Their light units still roll and deal damage during the light initiative before they are destroyed. You still gain 1 coin for each of your units destroyed this way. So this is an interesting tactic. You will be losing your ships, but there's 3 different dices and they have different maximums on them. So you could be trading away a ship for a guaranteed hit on your opponent, which may be worth it. So that was going to be situation, but it's going to be neat to play that one. So that is the other faction that you're going to get with this. And these are the components again for the game that you can add in to do your 6-player. However, it comes with this module, which I really like, which is called your event module. And what this is it's going to be every round an event's going to come out. When you start the game, you're going to place it, shuffle the deck and place one face up. And then when the rounds start, you're going to be placing that one out as active. Some of these have full round effects. Some of them have immediate effects. You'll just read this and do it. And then you'll flip over the next one. So this is the active one. And then all players will see what's going to happen the next round. So you'll be able to prepare for it. But this has cool different things. And you can pause this video if you want to read any of these. Cool different things to have happen during the game here. So that you can get advantages, or you could take advantage, or you can try to mitigate these as they occur. So, and some of them give you pretty cool advantages. So this gives like an extra little layer to the game, of which is one of my favorite, if not probably my favorite 4X game ever. And it is definitely going on my top games of all time. And it might even make my top 10. I'm pretty sure it's going to. So next year when I do a top 10, don't be surprised if you see Aldarra on it. So this expansion for myself, well, you know what? Let's go back up to the table here and I'll give you my final thoughts on Aldarra Savage Skies expansion. So that was Aldarra Savage Skies. So component quality. Oh my gosh, is component quality amazing for this game. It is phenomenal. I loved the component quality for the base game, and I love the component quality for this. The individual sculpt miniatures for each faction are insane. The really cool trays that come with this game are insane. The card quality is great. The art is insane. This is an amazing, amazing, high quality game. I really enjoyed playing the base game a lot. I think that game is going to probably make my top 10 of all time. And this expansion here lets you have up to 6 players. Now, when you play 6 players, the game gets a little wild, very fun. However, the additional bonus that you get is you now have 2 different factions that you can play with in any game. So these 2 factions will give you, and all the factions have asymmetric powers, give you more replayability because you have 6 different factions you can go through and play and learn and love. So I think that is really, really cool. Just in that, this expansion is worth it. Now, it also comes with a mini expansion, which is the event expansion, which I also really like. I also really appreciate how they actually did it. So you're going to have these events. You're going to know what the event is going to be that comes out, so you can prepare for it. And it does change up the game a little bit. It gives another little thing that you need to work around in the game instead of just straight on all at it. This is a high, fast-paced game here. It is a 4X game, but the Extermination's high up on that 4X list. So if you like from your childhood games where you play like Axis and Allies or Battle Lore, or games like that where you just play a lot of combat. It's really cool and you really get into it. This is going to be the evolved version of that. So you're going to get a lot of that good feels from a dice chucking game where you're trying to dominate on the board, but modern mechanics and modern ways of looking at things and making the game even more fun and keeping it balanced in the same aspect while giving you that same feel. Aldarra is definitely going to be up your alley. This is going to be a game that you're going to want to look at, especially if you're a 4X fan. This is a great 4X game that doesn't take 12 hours to play. So that's another bonus. Overall, I just really like Aldarra. And if you like Aldarra, this expansion is pretty much a must get. I mean, it's an essential expansion. It gives you more stuff. If you play Aldarra pretty frequently, this is an essential expansion. So this is basically an essential expansion for Aldarra, the base game. You can play it without it, but like it really adds more replayability to the game and all the good stuff. It does what expansions should do. So overall, this was amazing. I highly recommend this expansion. Highly recommend Aldarra if you haven't played it. Great 4X game. And that's my thoughts on it. But if you like what we do, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out a lot. Helps us get out more equipment, helps us bring out more content, and all that good stuff. But either way, I hope you all have a great day, and thank you for watching.